We have our selection screen, which I think looks awesome. We can now select our map, and then here we are in the game, counting down 3, 2, 1. Yo, how's it going, guys? And welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a fully working Nintendo Switch inside of MCPE. Now this Nintendo Switch is customizable using command blocks, as well as there's loads of different apps and games with some really cool animations for us to take a look at. Now this is definitely going to be a pretty awesome map, so be sure to take 1 second to crush that like button down below, as well as don't forget to leave a comment and tell me if you want to see more of these maps. You can also download the map in the description box down below. But either way, let's go ahead and fly up to our command console and turn our Nintendo Switch on by clicking on the on command block. So as you can see, our Nintendo Switch is about to turn on. It's going to load up some different logos and then go to a loading screen and finally to the home page. So check that out. That animation is so cool, and there we go, and we also have some awesome little fireworks there for a little bit of a spectacle. But one thing I do want to mention is that on the homepage, the icons are a bit pixelated, but they're just enough to where we can make out the actual games we're selecting, so it's pretty cool nonetheless. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the customization first before we get into the apps, since the apps are a bit longer than the customization. Now over here on this side we have 2 different customization options for the theme of the homepage. We can have a basic black or a basic white. At the moment I have the basic white. Let's switch it over to the black, and some people might use this if their eyes get a little bit hurt when they're playing their Nintendo Switch. I know that I use it on black because the white color is way too intense for my eyes, but we can also change the color of the Joy-Cons. Now we have the classic blue and red color at the moment, but we could switch it to any of these colors that you see here right in front of us. We could switch it to yellow and greens by clicking on those 2 command blocks. As you can see, it is that quick. It's going to switch to a yellow and green Joy-Con. Let's try out a different color. I'm going to select the green and the pink, and I think that's going to look pretty cool, so I'm going to keep that for now. Let's move on to the apps and the animations. Now what we see on our screen corresponds to these pressure plates down below, and to select the top area over here you want to step onto the top pressure plates, and to select the area down here, which are like the settings and the power buttons and whatnot, you want to step on the bottom pressure plates. Okay, so now let's go ahead and select a game. I'm going to pick Twiistz, which is going to be the second app on our screen. So to do that I want to step on the second pressure plate, so let's go ahead and drop down onto the second pressure plate, and then once we do that it will select our Twiistz, as you can see with the diamond square around that app. Then we click on the open command block in the command block console, and then it will basically do what you're seeing right now. It's going to play a bunch of different animations and give us a nice feel for the game. Obviously you can't play the game, but there is some pretty cool neat stuff that's happening on your screen right now, which I quite like and enjoy. So as you can see, you're playing the different games, and I think that this is so cool, especially with the amount of work that has to go into actually creating all of these different animations. Let's take a look at Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's going to be the top left game and also the top left pressure plate. So let's jump down over here and select it, and then open it up yet again using the command console. Go forward, we're going to have the text displayed on our screen. We're going to have the loading page for Zelda Breath of the Wild, and now we're inside of the game. As you can see, we have our mini-map on the bottom right-hand corner. We have the environment around us, and then Link directly in front of our screen. So it's basically like you're in a third-person camera playing Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's going to be the limitation for this app, so let's jump down and select another game. It's called ARMS, and it's going to play a few different animations. I guess it's going to go to the main menu, and then it's going to select different characters. Like I was saying, I believe it's a fighting game, so you can see that we have the guy in the arena now, and then he's going to be battling another character. So yeah, that's basically that animation. It's pretty cool that we went through the menu and the character selection screen and eventually got to the game, and I believe this is what you would be seeing if you were actually playing. I believe those are health bars on the top left hand corner, and then we have some other different GUI stuff on the bottom right. Of course, it's not very detailed because Minecraft only has a certain limitation on the amounts of blocks you could use in a specific amount of space, but I still think it looks awesome. So let's go back to the home menu, and select the next game, which is going to be this one right over there. And I wonder if we could actually go across to the other game on the screen. We have another pressure plates, but I'm interested to see if the screen will actually move to the right, which will be really epic. But let's select this one. This is going to be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And this is obviously one of the best games on Nintendo Switch, and it's going to play a few different animations. We have our selection screen, which I think looks awesome. We can now select our map. And then here we are in the game, counting down 3, 2, 1, and then we could go off in our Mario Kart track. So I think this one is my favorite so far. I've never actually seen it until now, but I think it is really, really cool, especially that selection menu where you can see a bunch of different characters, where you can actually recognize the different features of them, and you can also see Mario in his card. So for the final game on our screen, let's jump down onto this pressure plate, and yes, it does move over to the right, which is so awesome. This is going to be Minecraft, it looks like, and if I do guess this right, huge credit to the map creator because I could actually make that logo out. Click on that, and yes, it is Minecraft. It's going to give us a Mojang logo, and now we're playing MCPE with a working Nintendo Switch, with a working Minecraft inside of Nintendo Switch, inside of MCPE. This is so crazy that we could actually do this inside of this game. And as you can see, we have different animations loading up, and then we have the world loading, as well as it's going to eventually spawn into our world. Check that out. That is so cool and really, really crazy. We have our hotbar menu at the bottom. We have some hills on the left and some Minecraft clouds at the top. That is definitely my favorite. I know I said Mario Kart is my favorite, but it's so hard to choose with all these cool animations. Be sure to leave a comment down below and tell me which was your favorite and which was your least favorite. That way I have a better idea of which that people like. So either way, let's go back to the main menu and now take a look at the different settings here. I didn't take a look at any of these settings or any of the options for a Nintendo Switch, so let's just take a look at them together. So we're going to select the first one on the bottom. We're going to open that up and see what it's all about. So this is going to be the news tab, and wow, this actually looks pretty cool. So we have a bunch of different windows for the news. We have different menus at the or GUI, like selection spots at the top and the bottom. We have back and forward arrows. We have volume buttons over here, and we have a chat feature at the top, I believe, as well as we do have the search bar and then some other icons over here, which I can't make out, but we have a bunch of different like pictures on the screen, as you can tell, and they're supposed to represent different news articles and whatnot. So that's pretty interesting. I quite like it. Let's move on to the second app and see what that one's all about. Let's go to the home menu and then select the second one. Boom, and open. So this is going to be the eShop. I'm familiar with this one because this is where I buy all of my Nintendo Switch games. Yet again, very similar. We have a very familiar looking menu screen if you do have a Nintendo Switch. There's just a bunch of games over here on the right hand side, and then the prices will pop up on the left hand side with different selection buttons at the bottom of our screen. Pretty cool. Now let's move on to the next one. And I quite like that you could recognize, like, that's Zelda Breath of the Wild there at the top left hand corner, and this one I believe is one to switch. So yeah, that's just awesome. So we're gonna go back to the home screen there and then select this one. I'm not sure what this one's is, but I'm going to be surprised. Let's open that up, and it's going to be album. And I guess this is where you would keep all of your screenshots, and as you can see, we have, I believe, a Minecraft screenshot there, and I can't make out the rest, but you get the idea. We have the same selection buttons at the bottom of the screen yet again. Now we're going to go back down to the menu. There you go, the home button, and then select the fourth button at the bottom, then open that up. This is going to be the controller selection screen. This is basically how you would pair your controllers, and what I like about it is that you could actually see that the color of this menu has changed. Like the color of the Joy-Cons inside of the menu has changed to the actual color of the Joy-Cons that we're using. So I want to try this out. Let's switch back to the original blue and red and see if it'll also switch. So we're going to choose red for the right and blue for the left. And it does not change, but I wonder if we refresh it, if it will. Let's go back here to the home menu, and I believe it was the fourth one. So let's step onto that and then open it up. And yes, it does change, so that's a little bit of detail that I quite enjoy. That is just really cool to see something like that, where it's not necessary, but it makes it feel a whole lot better. Okay, so going back to the menu now, I believe the last two menus are going to be either be the power off, and then the brightness. So I'm curious to see how the brightness will work. Let's select the brightness there, and then open that up. So that's not the brightness, that's just the settings, and it's just a basic settings menu. It's going to load up this page. Not a lot of detail, so let's move on to the final button, which is going to be, I'm guessing, the power button. So let's fly over here, click on that, and then open it up. Okay, so yeah, that's basically going to be the power button. It is called sleep mode. So anyways, guys, that is basically going to wrap up today's Redstone creation. If you want to take a look at more awesome maps, be sure to click on the videos you see on your screen right now or in the links down below in the description. But either way, this was Twiistz, and I'll see you all next time.